プレートーカーユナイテッドエンパイア。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアのちょっと応援してくれるってよ。みんなブローキンテーブルポッドキャストよろしく。
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 57, and we are here with our Death Before Dishonor review. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show, Big T. Coach, what's up, guys?
What's going on, everybody? What an excellent night of professional wrestling. Folks, we are in a different era. We are in day one AV.
Day one AV.
After Vince. And my God, pro wrestling is just phenomenal, Jeff. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I feel like pro wrestling has been saved tonight, man. Like, this was absolutely from beginning to end pro wrestling as it should be.
Yeah, it was just phenomenal. From start to finish, I mean, I think that we both agree that there was one match on the card that kind of let us down a little bit. But other than that, from the opener on the 0 hour to the main event we just watched, it's just incredible. There's a certain vibe that Tony Khan has succeeded in bringing to Ring of Honor. Like, I mean, wasn't following Ring of Honor super closely leading up to, the purchase, but I've watched Ring of Honor shows. Being in Philly, I've been to a couple Ring of Honor shows live. And I just want to say that Tony Khan has fucking nailed the aesthetic of Ring of Honor. Just like the vibe I get. We were sitting there watching it, and I said that Ring of Honor has achieved a vibe that I would describe as very early AEW vibes, which is exactly what it should be. It feels a little bit smaller time, but it feels very it just feels close knit and just
absolutely
special.
I just love everything about the Ring of Honor, the visuals, the black curtains, the red logo.
The red and black is such a good look.
Red and black. I'm a huge Dr. Disrespect fan, so but the black and red, that's my thing. So also this Death Before Dishonor graphic they made, awesome. I love it. But the dragon's head has been cut off and a new era begins, says Big T. Yeah, man, I don't know if it would say cut off because he kind of retired himself, but I get the idea.
The dragon's head's going to be cut off on probably Monday. I'm just saying, I don't know anything, but odds are we're going to hear something on Monday.
Well, let's get right into this one here, man. So we started off with the pre-show. They called that 0 hour.
So you had all of our predictions in here. Yes. So this is an exhibition match for the. Well, I'm the champion. This is an exhibition match.
Yeah, not for the title.
I'm the champion, though, and I'm defending, my honor, necessarily. It's an exhibition match. We just have fun here.
Yeah.
And if you win, then we'll discuss, a title shot down the line. Yeah. I mean, I don't just hand these out. But anyway, so, Jeff, you have the predictions. I'm going to keep score as we go through. I did not keep track of these as we went through. I know I got a few wrong. I also think you got a few wrong, so... So I'll go into this also just kind of saying that we discussed it last night on the prediction show, and I think you'll agree with me. It's very difficult to make predictions for a show where there's not a weekly television show. Yeah. Usually with the AEW pay-per-views, I hit a little bit, closer, and there were some things tonight that were very interesting and very weird, but we'll definitely talk about. Yeah. So let me real quick make a little score tally for us.
Yeah. And it was very close because I was kind of keeping track, but kind of not in my head. But it's very close. I'm not sure who won yet. So.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But
all right, so we started off with, for the first time in over 4 months, we got Colt Cabana versus Anthony Henry. He is part of the Workhorsemen. I really like those two guys from the Workhorsemen. Anthony Henry was playing the heel pretty much in this match. He was definitely healing it up. Good to see Colt Cabana back. Everybody's kind of wondering, is the reason he hasn't been in AEW because of CM Punk, and you kind of have to assume so, but I'm glad he still has a place here at Ring of Honor, and I feel like it's where he belongs.
Yeah, I mean, I think Colt is an extremely talented guy, both to watch wrestling, and even if you listen to his podcast stuff, the guy in general is an entertainer at heart, and he Ring of Honor is just a really great fit for him. Yeah. He's a lot of fun, but he's also a really good wrestler, and he belongs here. And I thought that it was really cool to see Anthony Henry kind of in a different light than what we've seen him, you know, coming from an AEW fan's, you know, primarily perspective, because up until now we've seen him a few times on Dynamite and Rampage, but it's kind of been more in a generic, not generic, but a basic wrestler role. Tonight he was working as a heel, and it was definitely in, you know, straight up a heel acting. Thank you,
Lebert Salver. Thank you for the subscription.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, I thought Anthony Henry, well, you know, he worked pretty well as a heel, and I kind of want to see more of him after tonight. Before tonight, I was like, oh, he's a talented guy, but tonight was kind of clicked where I was like, okay, he's definitely doing something good here. And again, him and Colt, like, I thought this was a really fun opener. I got all the feelings going and whatnot, and it was great.
Yeah, and Big T says, Coach Nick says, was it just me, but Colt did not look too happy? I actually thought that I saw the same thing, but I haven't seen Colt in so long that I was like, maybe that's just how he looks, and I don't remember. But I did think the same thing for a moment there.
Yeah, nothing really stuck out to me. I didn't really notice anything necessarily. I mean, maybe he is a little frustrated that he wasn't being used. I mean, at the end of the day, there probably is some bad blood there, but I think also Colt needs to understand that just the facts of it are that CM Punk is a megastar, and any promoter in the world with half a brain, if they had a choice, and this isn't just an AEW thing, anyone, even the Fed, like, if they had a choice between getting CM Punk on their show and Colt Cabana on their show, you know, you're taking CM Punk. And I think Colt kind of needs to understand that.
I was going to say, as Colt Cabana, you have to be like, okay, I get it. Like, you have to get it.
Yeah, like, I know you're not going to take over him. That's just the way it goes. But I think that's the great thing about Ring of Honor here. You can separate the guys in a way where everyone can kind of have a spot and have a space. I think it's great. What's up, Juan? How you doing, man? Big T saying he think Colt's on the fast track to a world title run. He's going to start at the very bottom of the barrel. You're going to see one impressive story from him, right? Just might be the best in his career.
Really?
So Big T thinks.
I could see that coming.
I would cheer for it. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see.
I can't see him winning it, but I could definitely see, like he's saying, start at the bottom and work your way up and go up against Claudio and have a good match. Like, yeah, I could see that. So Colt wins this one with a really big moonsault off the top rope.
It was a pretty moonsault.
It was a very gorgeous moonsault off the top rope.
For me, this kind of is where I disagree with the coach a little bit. I think that, you know, seeing Colt bust out something like a moonsault to finish a match, to me that's him being like, I'm happy to be doing this, let's do it. Like, I'm gonna put the effort out. He's not just phoning it in, because Colt's really kind of well known for those really kind of funny pins that he does.
Yeah.
I think if they really wanted to put him out there and he's doing this match, he's probably like, all right, I'm winning this. Okay, well, let's just end it with like my Superman pin.
Well, the way
they didn't do that.
I only thought he looked that way when he first walked out on the stage, kind of like, man, I'm back here again. But I felt like as the match progressed, he started having fun, and you could see him. He was smiling and he was laughing and stuff like that. So yeah. I just thought it was like right there when he first was about to walk down the stairs. He did have this little bit of an odd look to him.
I mean, my thought process there is, you know, I think maybe he was trying to get a vibe check because, like you said, he hasn't really been wrestling.
Yeah.
Last we saw him was April at Supercard of Honor, and before that it was God knows when. I think like he wrestled a few matches in January, February, but other than that we haven't really seen him. So my guess is he's probably getting a vibe check. He wants to see where the crowd is with him, and you know.
Yeah, that's a crazy point there, Big T. Colt Cabana, Ring of Honor champion, Punk AEW champion. Playful booking for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I believe both of us had Colt Cabana winning on that one, and Colt Cabana did win this match.
All right, so we're tied at 1.
Just for fun, Big T was voting with us. Big T voted for Colt Cabana as well.
You know what? Let's put Big T on here. If you have all of Big T's picks.
I do, actually.
Oh, let's do it then. All right, so we're all tied at 1.
All right, next up was the Shinobi Shadow Squad versus the Trust Busters. The Shinobi Shadow Squad is Eli Isom. I'm not too sure on that guy, but we all know Cheeseburger, and Cheeseburger was amazing here in Philadelphia, man. We put him over.
Yeah.
He was awesome, to be honest, actually.
Yeah. And the Trust Busters consisting of Ari Daivari and Slim J, aka Jeff from 1998.
Yeah, me from 1998, right there, man. Like straight up.
I was 5 in 1998.
Wearing a wife beater, some giant Jinkos, I didn't have the upside down, whatever you call that visor thing. That was nah.
Yeah, Big T. This is currently a 3-way dance exhibition match. So if you pick up a win here, maybe I'll finally have somebody in line who can really,
might qualify.
You might qualify for a match. You're part of the King's Court, though, so, I mean, it's already all in the family anyway, but you never know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All right, so this was a really decent match. Just, nice back and forth between the two teams. Everybody got their stuff in. And I actually thought Cheeseburger and Shinobi Shadow Squad was going to win this, but...
I think we both picked them.
Yeah, we both picked them, and...
what did Big T pick?
Davari hits him with the Frog Splash. I believe Big T picked Shinobi Squad as well, but let me confirm.
Okay. Yeah, I thought this was a really fun match. Cheeseburger's super over. I think in hindsight, when making the predictions, I think we both fell into a little bit of a hole here where we should have paid more attention to who the Trustbusters were, because if I had known that it was Ari Davari, I probably would have picked them. I mean, because Ari got a Rampage promo.
Yep.
They also made a debut on Dark, which unfortunately I did not catch Dark this week. So that's going to be a thing. So yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I would have made a different pick, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it was a fun match, and I think again we're just kind of establishing some of these characters on AEW's version of Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
So and they know that they said it in the commentary a few times tonight. It's like, we know that this crowd is a mostly AEW crowd, and we're going to do our best to kind of get everyone into the product.
They're like, we're going to introduce you to these guys. Yeah.
Juan saying he's never watched Ring of Honor before, but Cheeseburger is the greatest pro wrestling name he's ever heard.
Bro.
Yeah, man. Like when Cheeseburger came out in the Philly show, we were just like, nah, this is our guy.
Dude, in Philly, he was so over. He had one of the loudest pops of the night for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like for sure.
Yeah, we were going wild for that.
Yeah, it was great.
That was great.
All right, so all three of us had Shinobi Squad, so no points for anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Next match, we had the first swerve on us for the night here. So, what was that guy's name? Prince
Nana.
Prince Nana has purchased Tully Blanchard Enterprises seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we are now calling those guys the Embassy.
All right, so let's unpack this real quick. Number one, again, so while I have not followed Ring of Honor in its entirety, as a young man, I did frequent a few South Philly Ring of Honor shows.
Nice.
And each time, Prince Nana was there. So it's recognizable to me, and I understand that this guy has some prestige in Ring of Honor.
Okay.
I also think that the Embassy name, cool as fuck.
Yeah, very cool.
Totally down for it.
Very cool.
I think that the faction in general makes more sense with Prince Nana and the Embassy as opposed to Tully Blanchard Enterprises.
I agree.
That being said, they fucking ruined my first pick. Because it's very out of the blue. Number one, my first thought is I hope Tully is okay.
Yeah.
I saw some speculation that it's been about 3 years since he appeared on AEW, so there was some speculation that his contract expired. But I don't know if Tony Khan would go through the trouble of starting this faction for like not knowing if he's actually going to resign or stay longer.
Real quick, you said 3 years.
The general AEW entry contract back in the day was 3-year contracts.
Okay, so we haven't seen him in a while, but his contract was
he's still
for 3
contracted.
years. Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought this was again. I'm kind of mixed on it because I think it's an improvement, but it's also extremely odd to just kind of drop Tully like that.
Yeah, I really want to know what happened there. Maybe this guy, Prince Nana, came out of nowhere and was like, hey, I'm available. And maybe they just had some light bulbs going off. Because the Embassy, it shows they put some thought into the name. The guy's Prince Nana. He talked about Ghana and his money.
Yeah, that's his character.
So the Embassy, that makes sense with his character.
If I recall, don't quote
thought.
me, I think the Embassy used to be a thing in Ring of Honor.
Okay.
I think this may be a reemergence of this gimmick from Prince Nana. Not 100% sure. I would. Can we get Big T? Can you do some research real quick? Yeah, see if you can find out if there was a faction called the Embassy previously in Ring of Honor. I think there was.
Yeah. Now, did you write the other three guys' names down? I know one of them.
Yeah, it was Blake Christian, Tony Deppen, and Alex Zane.
There we go. At first, I thought this was going to be a squash match until I noticed the actual names of those three guys. And I know 2 out of the 3 are kind of...
They're very talented.
Pretty talented indie wrestlers there. So I actually liked what they did here. They made it to where like these small guys weren't afraid of the big guys. Where I would be completely the opposite. Like all three of those giant dudes scare the daylights out of me. So to have all three of them just kind of being like, nah, screw this, we're not afraid of these guys. I thought that was kind of cool.
So the exciting thing for me about Ring of Honor right now, and it's something that was very exciting when AEW first started. And again, maybe that's where I'm getting these early AEW vibes from, but just kind of the unknown and like discovering these fucking talented wrestlers.
Dude, yeah.
You know, I'm like, the point of this 6-man tag, this trios match, was to get, you know, now the Embassy, almost said Tony Blanchard Enterprises.
Yeah.
The Embassy was to get them over, and was like the first time we saw Brian Cage wrestle in a year, and that was the point of this match. But I'm sitting here watching it, I'm like, I really want to see more of Blake Christian and Tony Deppen and Alex Zane.
Yeah.
Like, this was a trios match, and I came out of it, like, before the match, I was like, I don't fucking, you were like, I'm not going to know who these guys' names are. I got to, and I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not even going to have them written down. And by the end of the match, I know their names.
Yeah. Tony Deppen, I actually saw him in Philly for the NJPW show. He was really good. There was actually a spot in this match where, like I said, how they weren't afraid of these guys.
Big T's confirming that Claudio was in the original Embassy. So, yes, he remembers.
Nice. Okay.
Thank you, Big T. Again, I vaguely remember the Embassy being a thing.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you.
So
it's actually kind of funny. Maybe I might have actually even seen
that, yeah.
Claudio live. I
That's
didn't
funny.
even connect the dots.
So Tony Deppen had this spot where he was the last guy left in the ring, and he got surrounded by all three of the big men. And instead of being like, oh my God, I'm surrounded by these big dudes, he was just like, you know what? He's like, let's do this. And he just started chopping them both and forearming them both. And, you know, I thought that was an awesome spot. Tony Deppen, man, I like that guy a lot. I would actually be okay to see him over in AEW, but they keep him here in Ring of Honor. I'm fine with that too.
It didn't work. I was trying to do something cool with the belt, but it didn't work. It's okay. It wasn't. It's fine. The mic's in the way. Anyways, let's see. You good? Sorry, my gimmick is the mic, so we're gonna go this way with it. Anyways, yeah, this was an awesome match.
Yeah,
the Embassy end up winning, and we'll continue to see more of all of them, hopefully in the near future.
Yeah, Brian Cage gets the pin, as he should have. He's been gone for about a year, so, you know, he should have got the pin there. Glad on that one. Mm-hmm. And all three of us picked the Embassy as well, so we each get a point.
It'd be funny if we were like, none of us get a point because we all picked Totally Blanchard Enterprises to win. So we all have 2 points in this three-way dance. We are tied.
Yep. All right. So next up was the last match of the 0 hour, and we had Willow versus Allison K. Willow Nightingale, to be precise there, because she is awesome. I absolutely love Willow Nightingale. She's one of my favorite, I guess, indie wrestlers is what I would like to quote her as. She's amazing.
Yeah, she's so over. She's extremely over, and I think that Willow has such a future. Whether it be in Ring of Honor or AEW, you can tell that Tony Khan definitely has plans for her. She's still green. She definitely needs to get some experience under her belt, but she's got this vibe to her.
Yeah.
That's just like, it's so upbeat, and it's just like a let's go attitude, and it's just like, it's great. And
I want to use the word like charisma.
Yeah, I know charisma's very strong.
That's usually used like as in like a male type thing, but she has it. Like she's got charisma as much as you can have.
Yeah, women have charisma.
It's
too.
great.
Yeah.
So we all actually, well, you and I both predicted Willow on this one, and Big T predicted Allison K.
Oh no!
So that'll be the first wrong prediction for Big T there, because Willow did take this with an interesting type of powerbomb. They just said powerbomb, but she picked her up from the side.
It was a side-wrenching powerbomb. Yeah. It was a side-wrench sit-down powerbomb.
Yeah, and I loved it. I thought that was a great finish for her. If she can do it to Allison K, she can do it to just about anybody in AEW. So that was fantastic.
It was a really good match, and like I wrote it in my notes, Willow's a vibe, and I'm just excited to see where she goes from here. I mean, I don't know what the future is going to hold in the immediate future, but
we'll get to it later. But with how good this match was compared to the other match that we weren't too great on, put Willow in the title picture.
So Big T, to answer your question, this is a non-title exhibition 3-way dance. The title is not on the line as champion. It's in my contract that I do not defend the Broken Predictions Championship in my first year of title reign at non-AEW strictly pay-per-views. It is a loophole in my contract that unfortunately Jeffrey did not catch, which is 100% on him, and I refuse to feel bad for it. However, this is an exhibition match, so bragging rights are on the line. And you know what? If Big T wins, I mean, why would I give Jeff a title shot at All Out?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying, All Out is coming up. I mean, if there's no challengers, if I win this, I mean, maybe I'll just take the show off. I don't know.
You got to earn the title shots.
Exactly.
Here we are.
I don't hand out. This is not an open challenge title. This is prestige right here.
Big T says, "Stupid Willow and her meaty sandwich." Oh yeah. All right, so this match was great. I actually really enjoyed the 0 hour buy-in, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, man. Tony Khan does this thing where he gives us a free hour of wrestling. Remember in the Fed when they would do a 2 hour kickoff show and there would be 1 10-minute match in the 2 hour kickoff show? And we're here with an hour and it's about 50 minutes of free wrestling.
And we got to listen to Booker T talk for 45 minutes before that match starts.
Just shoot me. Just shoot me.
Yeah.
The thought of listening to Booker T talk is the worst thing you could possibly do.
All right, and now we get to the main card. Shocker of the night. We start the pay-per-view off with the Ring of Honor World Championship. Jonathan Gresham versus Claudio Castagnoli.
So there was a lot of weird stuff that happened here to start this show and this match.
Mm-hmm.
So Jonathan Gresham kind of comes out with very little fanfare. He doesn't come out with his flag. He's not doing the Cthulhu mask. Prince Nana is not there either, which is just so bizarre. And then he kind of shows up 5 minutes into the match. And I was very, very, very confused as to all of this. And it's funny because I'm sitting there and I know that I picked Gresham and you picked Claudio.
Yep.
So I know you're getting the point on this. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, well now I'm just going to be wrong. They spent all this time building this thing up, and now it just doesn't even exist. So I'm sitting here well, I'm taking an L on this match. But it is what it is. It's all for fun. But yeah, it was just very weird. It was a very weird vibe, and Jonathan Gresham did deactivate his Twitter, which people are saying he's done before, and he does it periodically because he just thinks Twitter is really toxic, which it is. And yeah, I mean, I don't know where we go from here with him, but it just seems very weird. It also was weird that during the 0 hour, the embassy had a graphic in their entrance video. Gresham didn't have that. Gresham wasn't introduced as someone in the embassy. So it was very interesting. But what led to that, what followed was an absolute banger of a match.
Oh, absolutely. It was cool. Claudio tried to start the match with his flying uppercut, but Gresham ducked out of the way and was like, nah.
So Juan is saying that he thinks that they were mostly AEW fans, not Ring of Honor fans, which is why Gresham didn't come out with all that stuff. But the problem is that he's come out on Rampage and Dynamite with that stuff.
Did he not have his Cthulhu mask on?
I don't think so.
I didn't even notice.
No, he didn't have the flag. He didn't have the mask. He definitely didn't have the flag.
He definitely didn't have the flag. But
which, if he didn't have the flag, I'm trying to think back. I don't believe he had the mask either.
Man, I must have just been focusing on Claudio or something.
I was also kind of focused, but I definitely didn't see the flag. So, I don't think that he had either.
All right.
Maybe if someone wants to correct us if he had the mask, but I don't believe he had either thing. Yeah. Big T says he agrees. If you notice, right before the bell rang, Prince Nana literally had to run to ringside. Yeah, we were trying to figure that out too. I don't know. I don't know what was up with that. There was something that was just really off about the whole thing, leading into this match, and it didn't hurt the match, and it didn't hurt the show, but I mean, it hurt my prediction for one. It ruined my prediction.
Just threw a big old question mark over your head, right away.
Yeah, we were just confused. It really, really confused the hell out of us.
But didn't affect anything as far as the show goes.
Juan didn't realize that Jonathan Gresham was 5'4". He thought he was 5'8", 5'10". It wasn't until he stepped into the ring with Claudio that he realized, there was a big size discrepancy between these two guys.
Yeah, and I said it
wild.
Right before, I was like, when these two get in the ring together, it's going to look really weird. And they tried as much as they could to the camera angles, they always tried to have Jonathan Gresham in the foreground of the camera and Claudio in the back, so it kind of evened out, but There was a couple of times where it looked crazy.
Yeah.
But Claudio starts off with a huge swing to Gresham. I lost count. It had to be 15, 16, maybe even 20. I lost count. Gresham worked over Claudio's knee for most of the match. But Claudio just used raw power half the time. And Claudio hits the Ricola bomb, it's like a cross-arm power bomb that is insane looking. I absolutely love that Ricola bomb. And we have ourselves a new Ring of Honor World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah, I thought it was an excellent match. Absolutely loved it. And I just feel so freaking good for Claudio Castagnoli. Yeah. This is a guy that just really deserves it. Like, you could tell it meant a lot to him. And it's just everything that he's done, coming to AEW, being a part of that Forbidden Door show, being a part of Blood and Guts, just everything he's been doing. Like, you just feel so good for the guy. This is a guy that has busted his ass, and he 100% deserves everything he's gotten over the last few weeks. And he's won his first world championship in a major promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. He sat there with a shocked look on his face for a while. The ref came over and put the belt on his shoulder for him, and he kind of looked down at it, looked a little shocked. I love seeing guys like that who, have always deserved a championship somewhere. But, Vince was never willing to give it to him for whatever stupid reasons he had. This was great. I loved seeing it. It was great.
I always really enjoy it because not everyone does it. But when they do it, being a Philly guy, he tweeted out about like an hour ago, a picture of him holding the belt up. He said, "Yo, Adrian." And like, I'm a Philly mark, so I'm going to pop for stuff like that. That always means a lot to me. So I was like, that was really special. But yeah, it felt like a special moment. And Claudio's going to get this company, Ring of Honor, a TV deal. I could see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Big T says Jonathan really impressed him tonight. While he was in the middle of the swing, he kept signaling to keep going. Really? I missed that. I didn't see that. But
well, that's the plus of having a short guy to do the swing to, is that Claudio was able to kind of just swing away.
Yeah.
So I know you picked Claudio for this. I did not.
I did.
And did Big T
pick Claudio as well.
Okay. So you're currently ahead with 4 points, and both Big T and myself have 3.
All right.
Again, I'm not complaining, nor am I bitter, but I was like, and you could say this, like, when the match started, the bell rang, I was like, fuck, I was wrong, because they undid everything.
Yeah, he was immediately like, well, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I totally owned it, because, and I think I put forth a very strong argument.
Yeah.
I could not predict that they were just going to be like, forget everything.
Yeah. That was just so odd.
That's what they did, and I was like, great. Like, it's so weird, because they literally made a Tully Blanchard Enterprises shirt with the 4 of them on it. So something had to have happened. Like, we don't know what. I mean, I know the media scrum's probably going to start in like an hour or so, and I'm going to watch it after we're done the podcast. And I'll tweet it. You can follow me. I'll tweet whatever is noteworthy, but maybe it'll be asked there. But something had to have happened with him. Juan saying he's definitely happy for Claudio. The Blackpool Combat Club looking all drippy with all the belts. Like, they are killing it right now. You got 2 world champions in this faction. You got Wheeler Yuta with the Pure Championship. You got breaking news: Bryan fucking Danielson is back next week. Oh, I popped. It was at the Comic-Con thing. We were watching I think it was the women's match, which is not the great timing for me to read that, because I was not a fan of that match, and I was just like, let's fucking go. Bryan Danielson's back. We are one step closer to being back in where we need to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Big T said everyone noticed how prideful, interior-eyed William Regal was, not just at Claudio and William Regal, but just a Ring of Honor in general tonight.
Yeah, I saw that. He was just standing there smiling for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's just Ring of Honor is just, it feels good, man. It just, everything about it just feels right.
It does.
And I'm so glad that Tony bought it, because if WWE bought it, it would have been a tape. It would have been tape library on Peacock, and that would be it. And instead, we got this. So.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah, this was great. I'm a huge Claudio fan. I've always been a fan of him, even over in the E. So I'm also very happy.
I'm also sorry that I just yelled into the mic. I usually whisper into the mic. I was very excited. Hopefully, I did not upset anybody.
Yeah. As long as nobody's wearing headphones, they should be all right.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was very excited.
All right. So next up, we had a quick backstage interview with Daniel Garcia, who he made a really, really, really good point in this interview.
He really did.
About the Pure Championship. And he's like, when have you ever been watching any sport ever and been like, you know what? This needs more rules. I laughed so hard when he said that shit. I thought that was great. That was one of the best things I've ever heard said about the Pure Championship. That was great.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, he's fucking right.
Yes.
And then he said he wants to win the title just so he can break it into pieces because he hates Ring of Honor.
Yep.
He hates wrestling. He's a sports entertainer and he hates pro wrestling and he's going to destroy pro wrestling.
That was a great promo to start this out.
It was great. It wasn't very long, but it was very short, sweet, to the point, and it said some really great stuff.
Yeah. Well, and next up, you were just speaking about Peacock there, but we got a much better Peacock coming up here next with Dalton Castle and the boys with, in my opinion, the best entrance in wrestling today, versus the Righteous. Now, I do hesitate to say the best entrance in wrestling today because when the Righteous came out and made that entrance in those white suits, that was sick.
With the girl dancing with the flowers.
With the girl, the hippie dancing. That girl, that was awesome.
Like, yeah, I was down. That was a vibe. I like that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I was into that for sure.
Yeah. This was an extremely fun match. Like this was the kind of the comedy of the night, and this was but it was really good. I know I got this one wrong too, but again, this is what happens when there's not a weekly television show. We took blind picks on this one.
I picked them for their entrance. I didn't take anything else into account other than I love that entrance.
Yeah. I was surprised because the boys, I view them as kind of jobbers. So I'm like, surely the boys are going to take the pin here, but no.
I think that might be it. You know, these guys were jobbers for a while, and I think they're finally ready to like push a couple of them.
I don't think so. I think they're just the boys. Clearly, and you even pointed out during the match, when the boys are the legal man, that's where they take the team takes the beating.
Yeah.
Dalton Castle's the guy that's pushing the team forward.
Yep.
But it was a really fun match. The coach also enjoyed their entrance. Big T said, Jeff, what do you think it will take for them to get Queen's Radio Gaga? Although I admit, I love this theme.
Are you talking for Dalton Castle?
Yeah, he's probably talking Dalton Castle.
I doubt it. She would have to be a wrestling fan herself and like want to get
no Queen. Queen.
Oh, radio. Okay, I don't know why I thought of Lady Gaga, but yeah, that would be impossible at this time. Queen's Library.
It's very expensive.
It's very
expensive.
And I'm pretty sure it's all owned by the guitarist
for Queen.
May. I forget his first name, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he owns it all.
Yeah.
That would be close to impossible, to be honest with you.
Jeff over here, like, oh, Queen, never heard of her.
I just saw Gaga and I went Lady Gaga in my brain.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You're the old one. You're supposed to know that.
No, I know.
Jeez. Anyways, so I know that I picked The Righteous, and I did not get the point. You picked Dalton Castle and the boys, so you're leading with 5, and I have 3. What did Big T pick?
Let me check Big T's pick on this one. Big T also picked The Righteous.
Son of a bitch.
Jeff is steadily in the lead. One of the things about this match is the female that was in here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wrote her name down as Vida. I don't know if it's Vida or Vita, but she performed a moonsault off of the apron onto the guys down on the bottom, and it was beautiful. I really enjoyed her, and I was yelling at the camera. I was like, go back to the girl. Keep going back to her. Like, I want to see more of her, whoever she is. I hope she wrestles as well.
Yeah.
All right, so Castle hits a huge bangerang. That's what he calls his finisher. Gets the 1, 2, 3. And I just wrote in like all capital letters, holy shit, this match was entertaining as hell.
It was so entertaining.
This was one of the most entertaining matches I've seen in a long time.
It was just really fun. He kept throwing the boys over the ring. Because again, like the boys are nothing, which is why I'm so shocked that they won this match still. Because he's just throwing the boys at them. Like that's what he's doing. He's just throwing them at him.
So that was one of my favorite spots I've seen in a long time. If you didn't see it. So Dalton Castle and his boys, he yelled in the ring. He's like, give me a boy. And then one of his guys got in the ring and he threw him over the ropes himself and he would land onto the other guys. And then the other guy would get in the ring and he would throw that boy. And then another guy would get in the ring and he would throw that boy. And Caprice Coleman said the same thing I did. I was like, are all 5 of these guys getting thrown over or is it the same 2 rotating? Because They made it look like the two guys were 5. It was great. It was absolutely great.
Yeah, and Big T, yeah, I did kind of pick up on the Righteous having that Far Cry 5 gimmick. It works though. It definitely works.
Oh, is where that's from.
Yeah, it's where I thought about that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's cool. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we see more of the Righteous as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that dude Dutch, the big husky guy. That guy had a really nice look. He reminded me of the Big Boss Man. I was a huge Boss Man fan when I was a little kid, so I definitely like that guy. Next up, we had the Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia for the Ring of Honor Pure Championship.
There was a quick Sanjay Dutt promo.
Oh, there was.
Where they said they were all going to wear white because in India you wear white to a funeral.
I forgot to even write that down.
Yeah, it was fine. It was just worth mentioning. It happened.
Yeah, they all said they're wearing white because in India, the only time you wear white from head to toe is to a funeral. So
yeah,
that's why they were wearing white. But next up was the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia. And, I got to admit, I didn't think this match was going to go very long. I actually thought Daniel Garcia was going to get himself disqualified, like, almost on purpose, with some closed fists or something. But, dude, we went 10 minutes without even having a single rope break.
I think about it. Didn't you pick Daniel Garcia to win?
Let's find out. I don't believe so.
I think you did.
No, Big T picked Daniel Garcia. You and I both picked...
Yuta?
Yeah, Wheeler Yuta.
Okay. I knew someone picked Garcia.
I didn't know Big T picked. There you go, Big T. Finally getting one wrong there.
He got
a couple wrong.
He's had a couple wrong. Again, it's a very difficult card to predict, which is why I put I was very smart because I did not want this type of thing to happen. If I lose, I want to lose based off the merits of a fair competition.
Absolutely.
So that's why my lawyers they put that in the contract. And you didn't read the fine print. Like, that's just... It's all right, bud.
Did I dress up as Boss Man for Halloween? I do have a specific memory of one year being dressed in a little security guard police uniform. I did, yeah. But every year after that was a vampire for, 10 years straight.
But yeah, this was a really cool Pure Championship match. I really enjoyed it.
I was going to show my widow's peak I used to have, but it's gone now. When I was a kid, I had the Eddie Munster vampire forehead, hardcore.
That's funny. I thought it was really cool that Regal told Yuta no rope breaks.
Yes.
And there were no rope breaks from him. So
that was a really good thing that Caprice Coleman, when he was on, when he mentioned that it's been 10 minutes, William Regal decided to, he goes, well, since Daniel Garcia can't hear me, I'll tell you guys, I told Wheeler Yuta no rope breaks or I will be very disappointed in him. And I thought that was awesome for Regal to put that out there. It was awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool touch. And I also kind of want to praise the match and being a little bit unique compared to what we've seen. Because up to this point, almost every Pure Championship match that we've seen, or Pure Rules match that we've seen since we started watching Ring of Honor in April, or at least these Ring of Honor matches, they've all kind of been very samey in a sense that they use all the rope breaks right away and they kind of get them out of the way. Whereas this one was there was no rope breaks used for 15 minutes, and then Garcia used one.
Yeah.
And then 2 minutes later the match was over.
Yeah.
I really liked the back and forth. These guys have great chemistry. This is a match that we're gonna see years from now main eventing a show.
We might see these guys feud for years to come.
Yeah, this was a really great match. I really liked how the spot where both guys used their mentor submission moves on each other. So Garcia used William Regal's submission, which is kind of he bends the leg and goes like it's kind of like an STF, I guess.
Yeah, I forget what they call it.
But it's not really an STF because he also I believe he puts the arm up too.
The Regal stretch or something.
Yeah, it was called the Regal stretch, and then vice versa. Yuta put Garcia in the walls of Jericho. Yeah, I thought that was great.
Yeah, this match was just great. There was a lot of stuff in there for AEW fans and hardcore wrestling fans, and I thought they did a great job of making the Pure match actually very entertaining for as long as it was. The no closed fist and a lot of the Pure rules kind of take away sometimes, but I think they did a great job here tonight. I'm not necessarily going to say that they stole the show like a lot of people were predicting here. A lot of people thought that this match was going to steal the show, but I think the Pure rules kind of hindered that. But great match, absolutely great. Let's see here. So after that Lion Tamer, Garcia hits the first rope break at 14 minutes. We had the first rope break.
I also want to say real quick, I really loved the addition of kind of almost like an NFL style scoreboard.
Yes,
with the timer and like how many rope breaks they had.
Yeah.
That was a great idea, and I don't know if Ring of Honor used it previously, but I know since Tony Khan's bought the company, they haven't used that, and that was phenomenal. That was such a great thing to have.
Yep.
It made the match feel special and unique while also helping remind us how many rope breaks. It's kind of like I'm a football guy.
Yeah.
It's like you're watching your favorite team play. Like, how many timeouts do we have?
It's exactly what I was about
Like,
to
how many
say.
timeouts do we have left, going into the half?
Yeah. They had the 3 pips underneath their name, and it was essentially like timeouts in football. There was 3 markings under each one of their names to show you how many rope breaks had happened. That was
Right.
excellent.
Yeah.
It almost made me think Tony Khan was like, "Yo, let's do the timeouts thing for the rope breaks. It's perfect." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was great. So the finish here was absolute perfection. Daniel Garcia grabs Wheeler Yuta's arms and he goes to do the stomps like Danielson, but as soon as he goes to do the first stomp, Wheeler Yuta ducks out of the way of it and rolls him up like he knew it was coming. Hits him with that crazy, does he call it the seatbelt? I'm not sure what it's called.
Yeah, it's a seatbelt.
The seatbelt roll up.
I think it is.
The one that Chucky T taught him, by the way. Well, I just realized that. He used the move that Chucky T taught him to win this match as well as the match with Mox. So, yeah, Wheeler Yuta takes the win. I was very surprised that Daniel Garcia didn't take the heel to another level in this. No cheating, none of that crap, and they went for the code of honor at the end of the match, but of course Garcia just gave the finger.
There was no code of honor.
Yeah,
I'm a big guy for the code of honor. Like, if you're in Ring of Honor, you have to abide by the rules of the code of honor. The coach also loved the scoreboard idea.
Absolutely. I think it was a given that coach was going to enjoy the scoreboard. All right, next up was I think our only match of the main card that was not a championship match. We had Roosh versus his older brother, Dragon Lee. It actually took me a few times of them saying brothers for me to realize that these guys are actual brothers, like the Lucha Brothers. So this match was amazing. And then once I even realized that they were actual brothers, it just got even better to me. Like, I loved this. It was from beginning to end a pure lucha match, just absolutely.
Yeah, and we even got probably one of the best table spots
Oh,
of all time in this match.
if you didn't see the table spot, go to the Twitter. I did retweet it.
I just got goosebumps thinking about it.
Oh
Actually.
my God,
I legit just did. I don't know if it showed on the camera, but I
Yeah.
shivered.
You can see mine, yeah.
Yeah. Oof.
This is the reason why I didn't post the table from Wednesday as the broken table of the week, because I
kept yelling at you.
I had a feeling something was going to happen. No, I usually look at what happened on Rampage and
Yeah, no.
So I had a feeling something might happen tonight, and this table spot. So Dragon Lee does a tope suicida through the middle ropes. The table was at least 6 feet away from the edge of the ring. He flew the entire 6 feet on his tope and speared his brother through the table.
Yeah, he was like head hit the table.
It looked like his head is what broke the table, but it looked incredible. One of the best table spots I have seen in all my life. It was so good.
So good. This was excellent. So, what were the picks here? Did you take Dragon Lee?
Let's find out.
I think you did.
Where'd my picks go?
I know I took Roosh, so I know I got the point here.
All right. So for this one, Dragon Lee, I did pick Dragon Lee, so I got one wrong.
What did Big T take?
Big T also chose Roosh.
Let's go, the King's Court. Let's do it. We're doing it. We're coming back.
All right, making their comeback, man. All right, so this was a great match. Let's see here. Roosh, I don't know exactly what happened there at the very end. They said he took advantage of his brother being distracted. I must have blinked.
It's same thing.
It happened that fast, and he hit him with his second finisher.
See, here's the problem, Jeff, right? So, how you doing, Jeff?
Doing great.
I realize that you're not across the internet right now, so this doesn't make as much sense. How you doing, chat? I was eating Curly's. I was eating the food.
Yeah.
It was really good. and I literally looked down for a second to take a bite of my cheese fries, and I looked back up, and they're like, "Oh, he took advantage of his brother," and I was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
I've missed something."
Yeah.
Juan, here you go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Juan loved when Roosh said "chinga tu madre" to a fan, and the fan stood there smirking, not knowing what the fuck he said. An insult to his mother. Yeah, I believe that is "fuck your mother," if I am correct.
Yeah, the guy's like, "Yeah, right, yeah."
Yeah, dude.
That's what I would do. Like, absolutely. Oh man.
So yeah, Roosh took advantage of whatever happened there at the end. You know,
Thank you,
I
Big T.
blinked.
Thank you.
I blinked and missed it. Roosh hits his second finisher. Roosh's finisher is interesting. It's usually a setup for a finisher where they're laying in the corner and Roosh comes in with a double drop kick to the face. It's a brutal finisher. I'm glad somebody's using it as their like actual finisher. So that's nice.
Yep. So just an update on the score. Currently, you're leading with 6. I'm in second place at 5. Big T is trailing, but not far behind with 4 points.
All right. Next up was the women's championship match: Serena Deeb versus Mercedes Martinez.
You know, Twitter really liked this match.
Apparently they did. I wrote down this match was mediocre at best.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't. Before we get into that, Juan saying Roosh pretended to be injured. He thinks his opponent was showing sportsmanship, and Roosh took advantage of that.
Okay.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I don't think I disliked this match as much as you did. I also don't think you really don't like Mercedes Martinez. I don't dislike her as much as you do. So here's what happened, right? So we're watching this match. Sorry. The match wasn't really that good. So then I went on Twitter and they announced that there's going to be 2 Avengers movies coming out in 2025. And then they dropped the trailer for Black Panther and like all the Comic-Con Marvel shit was going down. So like I was just not getting into this match. So I ended up just going on Twitter and watching all the Marvel stuff that was coming out. And like I don't know. This match didn't click for me. I was not really into it. I kept looking back up and I just wasn't really invested, and you just didn't like this at all, period.
I think, you know, the more I think about it, I think I'm just very biased on Mercedes Martinez.
Maybe.
I just don't like her. I cannot get into her at all.
I will say this. I didn't like the finish especially.
Yeah.
Serena Deeb is like the professor, and she's like the submission expert.
Yes.
Having Serena Deeb lose via submission, while like it makes Mercedes look really good. It does. It really does. I don't know like if that was the right person for Serena to have to tap out to. This is the kind of match where I think Mercedes should have pinned Serena if she was going to win. So it kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. Juan saying Serena Deeb is the female William Regal in his eyes and should be the female trainer for the AW after she retires. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But this match was not her best, but it was a decent one.
No, the way that I see is like what you were just saying. So Serena Deeb is called the professor of professional wrestling, and
taps out.
You don't. Her thing is submission. She has all kinds of submissions.
She should be able to figure out her way out of everything.
Have we ever seen Dean Malenko tap out?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That was my problem with the finish. There was even one point where right before the finish, you were like, I hope that wasn't the finish because it didn't look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a very weak, slam. It was a powerbomb, I think. And I was like, I remember like looking at Claudio and Willow hit these great power bombs tonight. And then like Mercedes does one. And I'm like, that looked like dog shit. Big T, I know I saw Daredevil 18 episodes. I am so sick of these 6-episode MCU shows. Like most of them are pretty good, but the 6 episodes, like I want a little bit more. And so 18 episodes, I'm down for that. So I'm very excited for the things at Marvel. This is not a Marvel podcast, but I am very excited for the future of the MCU.
I think you're only getting half-hour episodes with 18 episodes.
I'm fine with that. That's fine. That's the equivalent of having 9-hour-long episodes.
I was gonna say,
that's fine.
If they do 18-hour-long episodes,
they also revealed that
that's like
Daredevil's going to be in the She-Hulk show. So I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, I can't wait to see some She-Hulk. I used to collect She-Hulk stuff as a kid. I don't know what happened to it all, but I did.
Coach thinking that Dee may be ready for AEW Gold. Well, she just kind of lost to Thunder Rosa, so I don't know. And I think the TBS title is kind of locked up right now, so I don't think so. I'm kind of concerned of what this means for Deeb. because she's very talented, extremely talented.
I think this might be a prolonged storyline between the two. I think Deeb may have, I think they may have more of a program, these two. I think there may be like a couple more matches to where Deeb kind of builds herself up to that, and they should even say like what we were saying, like Deeb should be disappointed in herself for being like, I'm the professor of professional wrestling. How did I lose to a submission? Like they should put that in there or something, but it is what it is for now. We'll find out where she's heading.
Big T saying Charlie is back. He's so pumped. Oh yeah, for Marvel.
Oh yeah.
I was like, who's Charlie?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, we were just talking about the MCU. Juan saying give Deeb Impact Gold. No, let's keep Serena Deeb with AEW. She doesn't need to go to Impact.
If they do like a Kenny Omega type thing, I'm totally in for that. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Impact wants to work with AEW.
Nah, yeah.
They'd rather work with WWE, which is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, what the absolute fuck? Like, absolutely you can take our Impact World Champion and have her humiliated in the Royal Rumble. Please, Mr. McMahon. I know that we're AV, but, DV during Vince was a thing.
They wouldn't even call the title its actual name. She's called the Knockouts Champion.
Yeah, and
they
like
said the Impact Women's Champion.
It's stupid. But they want to work with them so badly. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic.
They want to get bought by them, is what
they really do. It's really sad. It's sad to see. But yeah, so the picks. I think we all picked Deeb, right?
Yes, we all picked Deeb,
including Big T.
Let's make sure.
I'd like to see Big T get back in the race a little bit here.
Yeah, we all picked
Serena Deeb. It just seemed like such a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, and I thought everybody was agreeing with me that Mercedes isn't that great. So apparently not.
I think she's fine. Like I don't dislike her as much as you do. I think she's got some value. But I don't think she is. I would not put her at a championship role.
That's what I'm saying. Like somebody that you say she's fine. I'm like, yeah, you don't put a belt on.
No, absolutely not. I would not rate her that high.
It is what it is. I understand. They needed someone to take the belt when they first bought the show.
I would honestly have Mercedes Martinez kind of in a spot that they have Nyla Rose in, and move Nyla up the rankings.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Yeah, good point.
That's just me. What do I know? I just love the Acclaimed.
Yeah. Well, Serena Deeb loses by submission. Whatever. Next up, we had Jay Lethal versus Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor TV Championship. And holy shit, this match was a banger. And we got 5 minutes of pre-match fight. So if you didn't notice, basically Samoa Joe came walking out, didn't even let Jay Lethal get to the ring before Joe's music hits, and he just makes a beeline right for Lethal, and they start brawling outside the ring for... It had to have been 4 or 5 minutes. No bell rang or anything. And finally the announcers kind of caught on and they were like, hey, we need to get this back in the ring because they haven't started the match yet. But this was great, man. This was a brutal match. These two beat the crap out of each other, to be honest with you.
Right.
We did have some interference by Satnam Singh. He came in and he wrapped Joe's arm in a chair and threw the chair into the ring post. That really got me worried that Joe was about to lose that match there. Let's see here. The ref then kicked out Satnam Singh, and then they actually started the actual match. So we had all of that pre-match. Once they started the match, it was a great back and forth. These two dudes just, like I said, beat the tar out of each other. Lethal hit his lethal injection, I think, twice. For a 2 count. Sanjay Dutt came out for some distraction for the ref, causing Jay Lethal to pick up the TV championship, and he absolutely annihilated Joe with that championship belt. I thought that was it right there, but no, Joe kicks out at 2.9.
What did they say? You could count with a malformed hand?
Yeah, so Caprice Coleman, I don't know where that came from. But he was like, you could have counted that with a malformed hand. And I just kept picturing like somebody with the penguin hand. But yeah, that was pretty funny. A lot of kooky things on commentary. I love Caprice Coleman. That dude's good. Yeah, and the crowd was absolutely on fire for this match. Finally, they were a little quiet for most of the show, but I think they were just enjoying the show and popped when they needed to. It was, not a big deal. Yeah, when Joe kicked out at that 2.9, the crowd exploded for that one. That was probably the biggest pop of the night when Joe kicked out. And Joe catches Jay Lethal in the Coquina Clutch. Everybody just keeps calling it a choke, but it's the Coquina Clutch.
It's the Coquina Clutch, yeah.
I'm not sure if they're not allowed to use the name because of the E or something. Because what's her name? The Queen of Spades. She uses that move. Shayna Baszler. She uses that move. I think he kind of gave it to her, so maybe he doesn't. He's not allowed to use the name, but whatever. Great match. Love Samoa Joe. Took the win.
Super hard hitting. Good match. You kind of covered it pretty perfectly. Yeah. Was a very good match. Really enjoyed it. It's great to see Joe back.
Yep.
I believe you picked Jay Lethal, didn't you?
No, we both got Joe.
We both got Joe?
Yep.
I thought you picked Jay Lethal.
Nope.
Huh.
This one, actually, I did not get a pick from Big T. I may have forgotten to write it down, or I'm not sure he wrote this one into chat.
Oh, man.
I trust you, T. What would you have said? While we wait for that, let's go to the next match here. All right. So next up was the main event of the night, FTR versus the Briscoes for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. And in a 2 out of 3 falls match, by the way. And holy shit, this match was incredible. Got a question for you before we go over it. Do you think it was better than their first match? That's an extremely tough question, isn't it?
I'm thinking about it. I feel like because they went like an hour, there was a lot more downtime. So, like, initial feeling is I feel like their first match was better, but there was definitely some high points. Like, I think that the high points of this match beat the first match. Like, the high points of this match beat the high points of that match.
Okay.
But I think overall, as a complete match, start to finish, which one I would rather watch, I feel like the first match was a little bit more of a ride. Big T saying he picked Jay Lethal. So it's
Gosh.
No, Big T, I think that was Wednesday night.
Yo, Coach. Coach says Caprice's money on the mic. Is that a JD subscription mic there, buddy? I think that's JD's members only mic.
So I don't know, man. I mean, this was an excellent match.
It was great.
I don't know which one I liked more overall. I mean, right now I'm going to say the first one.
So the way that I look at it is I ask myself, was this better than the first? And I can't bring myself to say, yes, it was better. But I can't say that it was worse. So right now, I'm really saying that this was just as good as the first. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, Juan raised a really good point. Going 60 minutes is extremely hard.
Yeah.
Not even Brett and Sean could have a complete great 60-minute. That's a match where you look at that and like 20 minutes of that 60-minute match are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And the other 40 are, fine.
Yeah.
Fine to good. And I think, I'm not the biggest fan of wrestling matches going an hour. Not unless there's either one, a lot of guys in it, or two, some sort of gimmick to keep it interesting. And eventually they did some things to spice it up between... That's the... Coach said that's just the mic off his emojis from his phone.
Oh, okay.
Kind of devaluing JD's mic there.
That is his thing, though.
Well, maybe he took it from the iPhone.
Yeah.
Anyways, they eventually do end up going out of the ring and doing some extra stuff to make the match kind of a little bit more exciting. I thought it was, again, excellent match. Juan asking what we would rate this out of 5 stars. I would give this like a really strong 4.5.
I'm going 4.75.
Yeah, I would go 4.5 as opposed to their first match. I probably would put it more closer to the 5 point. I mean, still match of the year for me right now is Orange Cassidy and Zack Sabre. Not Zack Sabre Jr. Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay.
Nice.
Okay. That's my match of the year right now. They could change. We still have another 6 months to go, or whatever, 5 months to go. But that's is it Jeff talking about JD Drake? No, he's talking about a different streamer.
Yeah. JD from New York. He's another podcaster.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was a very strong match. I really enjoyed it. This was all around a really fun night. You picked FTR, I believe.
Yes, I did.
I picked the Briscoes. Again, not weekly television. It's, honestly, it's why. Well, you know what, Jeff? Yes, you did Big T pick? Who did Big T pick?
Let's see who T picked on this one. Big T picked FTR along with me.
Okay, so Jeff, are you familiar with having a three-way dance triple threat kind of match, and usually you have two guys on the same faction and they kind of like tag team against the other guy, and the other guy just ends up like not winning?
Yeah.
So this is what's going to happen here. So Big T's part of the King's Court, so he is donating to let's say 3 of his points. You know, he's giving it to the leader of the King's Court.
Okay.
That's just the way it goes. So I'm gonna, award myself his 3 points. Thank you, Big T, for your contribution. Juan's asking, do we like JD from NY?
I'm a huge fan.
He's a huge fan. I think that he is an honest guy who has a lot of things to say about who is not afraid to call things out.
Yeah.
And there are times where our opinions align.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to get as angry as he does about as much as he does. Now, there are things to be angry about. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's very successful, and he has a very successful fan base. And I do watch some of his stuff from time to time. That being said, if I'm not mad, if I want to be mad, I'll watch JD. If I don't want to be mad, I'll watch Fightful, or not really. I don't really watch Fightful. I just kind of listen to their new stuff. But The Observer, I'll listen to, or the Mat Men. The Mat Men get a little silly sometimes.
Yeah.
But anyways, luckily, thank you, Big T, for teaming up with me here at the King's Court. So this was quite the successful exhibition match. Jeff, you fought hard. At the end of the day, it's just kind of how factions work. So great job, sir.
It's okay.
It was close.
The Broken Tables universe knows who won this match. So
well, I mean, it says here on the point sheet that I won with 9 points.
Well, how about we? What were the points before Big T decided to graciously grant you his 3 points?
You were in the lead.
Yes.
You were absolutely in the lead. Coach Eski's a wrestling guy. He is, but he's a very angry individual.
Yeah, his gimmick is he is fucking furious about everything, and it's very entertaining to watch. Now, granted, a lot of times I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he's saying. I just enjoy seeing him fucking scream at the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I more so watched his stuff when I was leaving WWE.
Yes.
Like that was when I really watched his stuff. I don't really watch it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't care enough about the WWE product.
Yeah.
And I don't 100% like, I don't know. I'm neutral. I'm very neutral on the guy. I don't hate him. I check him out every now and then, but it's not really destination viewing for me at this point.
Yeah. He gets randomly blocked by like every wrestler, but
yeah.
First, I don't know what I said about him.
Firstly, thank you, Big T. Once again, remember, when the King's Court wins, my friend, we all win. All the members in the King's Court are celebrating this victory today.
Absolutely.
And what a day it is. The coach saying only wrestling thing he listens to is us. That means the world to me. Appreciate that. Please stay tuned for more. We're going to keep doing what we do.
Absolutely. Thank you guys very much. And, we appreciate all you guys. That's why we try to interact with the chat as much as possible, make you guys feel welcome, make you guys feel like you're part of the show. Because you guys are. You guys are part of the show. So, thank you guys for being here every night for us. It really does mean a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you, Big T. Coach asking you... Oof, you're right.
I'm trying to fix the...
Oh, yeah, it is a little out of
focus.
Out of focus there. It's because of the big Goldie here.
Yeah, I think it was actually.
Coach asking you, is he like Dr. Disrespect of wrestling?
Yes, he is exactly the Dr. Disrespect of wrestling.
Right, because Dr. Disrespect hates Warzone, right?
Yes, and he actually he openly copies Dr. Disrespect. Like,
that's actually a really great comparison because like even like the design aesthetic is kind of
he openly he copies it. He uses Dr. Disrespect's music and everything. So
that's true. Yeah, that is very true. But so this was a excellent pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
Had a great time watching this with you tonight. I'm really excited to hear more about some weekly Ring of Honor content.
Oh yeah.
Doing these prediction shows are going to get a lot easier and a lot better when there's like weekly. Well, I'm saying, Jeff, you need to hire Mark. I'll have you know, sir, that Mark Sterling is currently under my employ. He is currently my lawyer. So unless you want to get a legal memo from him, you
gotta try to steal my lawyer, bro. I've been texting him for like a week.
Oh man, no. Well, and there's nothing illegal about this. It all happened in the confines of the match. Big T was a part of the match. Look, my friend, Jeff is the general manager. He added Big T to the match. He should have known what he was getting into. So, like, again, if Jeff has a problem with these things, he could just not book them this way, but he does. So he clearly, again, Jeff understands that I need to remain on top.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is for the sake of the show and for the sake of the King's Court and everyone involved. I mean, what would we like? Could you imagine if Forrest actually did beat me in a title match? The podcast would have been dead. We would have been done.
Right.
You would have been on the streets begging for quarters. I would have probably been playing a lot more video games. And, it is what it is. So, like, you're welcome, Jeff.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
But me being the GM, just remember in the future, I am the GM. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I'm sure you're going to do what's right for the show, and the King's Court.
Always do what's best for business.
That's what I like about you. You understand. Big T doesn't remember being added. Yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, maybe we'll do some more of these picking fans for stuff in the picking viewers and kind of getting them a little bit involved.
I actually really like that idea to involve you guys and like an exhibition match like this, to have one of you guys join in, and if you happen to win, maybe you get a shot down the line. I mean, obviously we're not going to send you the title or anything, but you can kind of we'll have it like displayed, and we'll make it a cool thing.
Yeah, exactly. See, Juan, you understand. This show would have been like WCW 2000 if 2001, if Forrest became the champion. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys understand. And that's what I'm saying. The people understand, right? And I just want to let everyone know that this is, as usual, is very difficult for me to choose. Obviously, Big T and Juan are always killing it, as always. However, we have a new Broken Tables Podcast Fan of the Week award to give out.
All right.
And for the first time ever, his first award, it's going to the coach.
The coach is the Broken Tables Podcast Fan of the Week.
This is very difficult. This is, as always, a very difficult task that I've put upon myself to think back and remember, because, like, yeah, exactly, Big T. I don't even know what we're talking about with Forest. Like, the woods, the park. It's a little late to go to the park, so I'm not going out there. Right. Especially Pennypack in Philly. You don't want to be in Pennypack in Philly after dark. Unfortunately, it's not a very good idea.
All right, so excellent Ring of Honor pay-per-view. I do believe that they mentioned that they broke the Ring of Honor record for most pay-per-view, most buys of the pay-per-view for Ring of Honor. So congratulations to Tony on that one.
Yeah, they're gonna keep moving up and up, and I'm excited, man.
If any streaming service was on the fence of like, should we do this deal, and you saw this pay-per-view tonight, and you see that they broke the records, like, you gotta give them this streaming service or weekly show or whatever it may be. It's got to happen.
Right.
Pull the trigger, HBO. We want it. We need it. We gotta have it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's somebody's got to use them. I still think that we're gonna get them on HBO Max. I think that the HBO deal's coming. I think right now Tony's probably more so just kind of negotiating the terms of the deal, which is why they haven't announced anything yet. I mean, for all we know, they might get something announced at the media scrum. I wouldn't expect it, but it's always possible.
Yeah.
But this was great. Juan saying this was his first Ring of Honor show he's ever watched. It was definitely worth his time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, like, for me, it's all about the preservation and just the love of pro wrestling. Ring of Honor is a pro wrestling show. It is, it's something special. And I'm just glad that someone like Tony Khan, if anyone was going to get Ring of Honor, I'm really glad it was Tony Khan.
Absolutely.
And every day I say this, and I said this on the stream last night, and I really mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's just like, the product that Tony Khan makes is just so, and this is just me speaking personally. I mean, I'm sure people agree. This is not a hot take. But Tony Khan, the product that this man makes, for me, I identify as, like, what pro wrestling is supposed to be to me. It's moments like Claudio Castagnoli winning the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's moments like that, like tonight that we got, that are what make pro wrestling pro wrestling. And under Tony Khan's watch, he's, the longest tenured CEO in pro wrestling.
When is the media scrum? I think it's currently live right now.
Yeah, it might be live probably around this time. They usually start around midnight. After the show goes, after we go off the air, Jeff's gonna start his trek home, and I'm going to stay up until 3 in the morning, as I always do, watching the media scrums.
Yeah.
I'll be probably either tweeting or in the Discord, kind of anything that's noteworthy. Join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, and we can get some conversation going about anything that's worth mentioning there.
Yeah, absolutely. Always continue the conversation in Discord, guys. That's what it's meant for. That's the best place to reach both of us, rather than us give you our phone numbers for texting and shit. You know what I mean? It's the easiest way to get a hold of both of us.
Yeah, I think Big T and Juan can definitely attune to it. We are very in touch with the Discord. So if you want to have conversations about wrestling with us and you don't want to go on Twitter because it's super toxic, feel free to join the Discord, because that's where we're always hanging out in Gorilla, just talking about it.
And if we don't see what you messaged in there, say it again with the do at Broken Tables or at Rome, and that'll automatically send us a notification and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
and I usually do a pretty good job of when news breaks, kind of putting it on the Discord for everybody.
And I actually need to build the Discord up with some wrestling emotes, because we have like 100 of them, but they're all Pokemon and stuff back from my video game days.
Yeah.
So I'll update that with some cool wrestling stuff if I can find anything.
Let's see. Big T, beautiful way to put it, Rome. Thank you, Big T. Coach asking, before you guys end this, could you give your thoughts on what if Tony Khan perhaps purchased WWE? I keep seeing that on Reddit today. Oh, a fellow Redditor. That makes me happy.
What?
I like Reddit. He's asking how we give our opinions on if Tony Khan were to purchase WWE, or if we think it would happen. Number one, I don't think it would happen. I think that company costs a lot of money, and you're only going to see it get bought by some sort of conglomerate like Disney or NBC. Like, you're not going to see a guy buy it. You're going to see a corporation buy it.
I'm very in line with what you're saying. It is most likely that a corporation is going to buy it because of the price tag. Right now, the current price tag that people are floating around is between 4 to 7 billion.
Yeah. That being said, if Tony Khan buys WWE, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
Dude, what would he do with it, though? Does he immediately change everything to AEW, or does he keep WWE as...
I think he has WWE as a separate brand. Have it be 2 shows, one WWE, one AEW.
Yeah.
Again, though, he wouldn't buy it, because there's too much of WWE to buy.
Yeah.
However, I did see some speculation today that I think would be phenomenal to do. Especially considering kind of where AEW's roots lie. A few people suggested that Tony Khan should, once Nick Khan kind of takes over fully, he should try to buy the rights to ECW and WCW. And I think that there's an argument to be made there that I don't think Nick Khan would give a fuck if Tony Khan bought those. Okay. So here's the reasoning. Number one, clearly AEW, let's be honest, I mean, obviously there are different things that come into it to make it. It is the continuation of WCW.
Yes.
It's the legacy of WCW. When they talk about being on TBS, you hear them talk about it, pro wrestling on TBS spans as far back as the 1980s. They're talking about WCW.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ECW also has the vibe of AEW.
Yeah.
So I would like that. I'd be very happy with it. I think that is a much more realistic goal. I don't think AEW buying or Tony Khan buying WWE is realistic. I do think Tony Khan doing business dealings with WWE is a much more realistic thing. I don't think WWE cares so much about the past in terms of outside of their company anymore.
Yeah. So the WWE as a whole, I don't see that happening at all. That would just be insanity to me. That would literally be the world flipping upside down. You know what I mean? But purchasing WCW and ECW, I can see the WCW part, maybe not ECW. But would they even let that go? I get it if Vince is gone, but it's still a big part of your...
Is it? Is it?
They purchased it for a reason.
I would just like to remind you that Vince McMahon spent more money fucking paralegals than they spent on WCW.
True.
So...
Actually, they bought it for
they bought it for very little. It was $2 million.
It was peanuts.
It was $3 million.
I forgot about that. The price tag for WCW.
That's what I'm saying. If Tony Khan knocks on the door, drops $10 million for the WCW library.
Yeah.
Again, Tony Khan does need to build up library and build up tape
for
this streaming deal. So, I mean, and I'm sure Discovery or more so the Warner side.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the Warner side would love to have their previous channels catalog available to them.
Yeah, see, if it's part of that, well,
that would, so I understand that would hurt their value of their contract with Peacock, but what I'm saying is, does Peacock care about the WCW tapes? Like WWE is a content over quality.
Yeah.
They're quantity over quality. And WWE puts out every week 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of SmackDown, an hour of main event, 2 hours of NXT, right? It's 2 hour show on NXT, right?
Yeah.
That's 8 hours of content plus a pay-per-view every month, which is like 4 hours. So like once a month, 12 hours of content. And that's not even everything. They do like the bump, they do like the grind, they do all of those fucking dumb shows. They do like all the stuff. Miz and Maurice is a thing. Like they put out so much content on a weekly basis. They don't need to have their tapes. And I don't think they care about the tapes. They cared about the tapes when the network was its own thing and they had to worry about their own subscribers. Now, Peacock just hands them a check every year.
That's a good point.
So I really don't think it's as big of a deal. It matters to us because we're pro wrestling fans. So like, I understand sitting here being like, oh yeah, of course they're not going to part with WCW. Why would they part with WCW? There's so much legendary shit that happened in WCW. Yeah, sure, the last 2 years of WCW was dog shit, but like everything before that is, really good. Why would they do that? ECW, same thing. Why would Peacock and NBC and Nick Khan and WWE, why would they get rid of the ECW catalog? There's so many legendary moments of hardcore wrestling. Yeah. Hardcore wrestling, let's be fair, is not at all oriented to what WWE wants to put out today. Not even a TV 14 rating. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I've seen, like they do not push the ECW content. They've never pushed that ECW content. Like except for when ECW came back in 2006. Other than that, and the one night stand shows, they have never pushed that ECW content.
Yeah, that's really interesting to think about. Like,
I'm just saying, and I'm not saying it's going to happen. We launched a discussion based off of the question. I believe it was from Nick, right, or was it Juan? It was.
It would just feel kind of. It would also feel kind of weird. It was Coach.
It was Coach. Yes.
It would just feel kind of weird of like, hey, one wrestling organization just bought a quarter of the library from another one, and it's like, why?
It's not necessarily a quarter.
I know, I'm just saying.
But again, if Tony Khan is going out there, if I'm Tony Khan, right? What is like let's look at the guys that are in AEW right now, right? Tony Khan is trying to establish a streaming deal. He needs content for that. AEW is only 3 years old. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. It's the same thing about building a credit history. You can't build a credit history faster. You just have to keep going until you build that credit history. But the thing is like, you look at the guys that AEW values. Sting.
Yep.
Tony Khan wants Sting's library. He wants that.
So I was just about to ask
Chris Jericho.
I was just about to ask, what does he have to gain? And that is perfect. Sting and Chris Jericho's
and that's just library. 2. We could go through the roster and go through the guys backstage, and we could find even more that I'm sure Tony Khan would love to have the tapes for.
Yeah. You even got Steve Austin's first matches over there.
Yeah. And I mean, and there is, again, is this likely to happen? Probably not. But the discussion has started based off a question that Coach asked.
Absolutely.
I don't think them buying WWE outright is realistic, but I do think them doing business, and WWE loves to do budget cuts. So why wouldn't they take the chance to get a couple extra million for content that they probably don't use? And I would really go as far to assume that based off the cult, the WWE fan base at this point, I don't think any of them give a shit about WCW or ECW either.
No.
I just don't.
But I do disagree with what Juan said, that some AEW fans would hate it. I think a lot of AEW fans, they do hate the E, but we all still love ECW. Like that's
absolutely
that's definitely a thing I've noticed is they still love ECW. Like the AE dub chants, that came from EC dub chants, like for sure.
Yeah, the ECW tapes are something that, as a pro wrestling fan, you should definitely be excited for. And again, ECW is, it's kind of funny because AEW really is if ECW and WCW had a baby.
Yeah.
Because ECW, a lot of the things that ECW did are precursors to the modern pro wrestling fan. Mm-hmm. A lot of things that ECW did were very revolutionary.
Yeah.
That's why they literally said, before AEW said it, ECW said the revolution is televised. They were the ones that said it first. Really? It wasn't AEW. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The revolution will be televised. I mean, I don't know if they were the first to say it in the history of anything, but ECW said that. That was an ECW thing. So yeah, I don't know. That's definitely
a great discussion, dude. I think we need to kind of delve into this a little bit more after some more research on the old Reddit there.
Yeah. Juan asking how much bread we dropped on the Curly's order. Well, Jeff works there, so
yeah, I work there, and like we own it. Like my wife's dad is the owner, so you know, I essentially work for one day for free for my order. To be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the deal I guess we have in place. I do say, Jeff, hey, if you ever need the money for it, let me know. But I usually supply the pay-per-view, he supplies the food, and we just kind of call it a day.
I was gonna say he buys the pay-per-view, I bring the food.
Yeah. Let's see here. Coach just joined the Discord. Thank you, Coach. So looking forward to chatting with you on that.
Big T wants to see RVD in AEW before he hangs him up. I do too, Big T, but I hope it's soon.
Yeah, we would have to do it soon. Can't.
He's getting this beer belly, bro. It's gonna be in the way soon.
Yeah. Yeah, the food was amazing. I still have some left. I'm gonna eat the rest of it while I'm watching the media scrub.
Thank you, T. Thank you.
So I think we're caught up on the chat. I mean, in the meantime, we can read some more as we go. But I do have the card for Fight for the Fallen.
Yes.
And once again, we are being taken care of here. Juan saying, how many people go to Peacock to watch WCW and ECW? The network didn't really have a lot of subscribers while they had it in America. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, Peacock is not just a wrestling streaming service. Like, people are not going on Peacock to watch WCW and ECW. I'm sure there's someone, sure. But, you know, Peacock wants WrestleMania. That's what they're paying for. They're paying so they can have WrestleMania, the $4 dollar store bargain bin extravaganza. That's what they're paying for. So again, it seems very, very reasonable. The coach saying RVD smoking his blunt in the back, waiting to come out.
Yeah, for sure.
Big T's pumped for Wednesday, and so am I. So here we go. Fight for the Fallen. First up, we have an AEW World Interim Championship match. Jon Moxley defending against Roosh.
Yeah, that's a good one. Jon Moxley versus Roosh. That Roosh had a great match tonight. I can't see his match with Moxley being anything but great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We have the AEW Women's Championship match. Thunder Rosa defending against Miyu Yamashita after she beat Thunder Rosa in True Japan.
Yeah, in New Japan. I don't know.
No, it's not New Japan. It's isn't it TJPW?
Yeah, it's something. I didn't catch the name of it, but I watched the match. It was a great match, excellent Joshi match.
Yeah, it was really good. It was on Dark a few weeks back. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But she beat Thunder Rosa, so she got her title match. And Coach saying, Big T said RVD versus Orange Cassidy. Yeah, that would be amazing. Coach saying he would get Peacock. He gets Peacock for free, as do I. He'll be honest, though. He watches ECW and WCW for background noise when he's recruiting kids and stuff for football. Again, there are people that watch it. But what I'm saying is that the average WWE goer, I don't think they're watching it. And also the average Peacock goer, I definitely don't think they're watching it. Coach also saying Roosh Moxley is going to be intense, which it will be. Juan saying, was the announcement of Bryan Danielson having his return match first announced on the pay-per-view? So no, it was actually announced at Comic-Con on the panel, which happened. It happened during the pay-per-view, but it happened before the announcement. Which I'm so excited for, which is on the card that I have in front of us. The next match is Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling in a handicap match versus Swerve Strickland, and Keith Lee is banned from ringside.
How did they get Keith Lee banned from ringside?
Apparently, they said Swerve agreed to these to this.
Okay.
I'm all about my my lawyer wrestling, as long as he doesn't forget his duties to read over my contracts and, and stuff.
Mark is awesome.
Yeah. Next up, we have the returning Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia. I am so happy. I am so happy because there are 3 guys right now that I am just every fucking day I wake up.
Oh yeah.
And I look at the wall and I'm just like, I need him. I need him back.
Absolutely.
And Bryan Danielson is one of those guys. So I am so over the moon. Like, this is a stacked card with title matches on it, but this is the match that I'm most looking forward to. I want to see Bryan Danielson again. I miss him. It's been too long. So let's hopefully we get something good out of that. Well, we will get something good out of that. Thoughts so far?
I thought this was great. Danielson being back is huge for me. It really gives another reason to watch Dynamite. Danielson is one of my favorite of all time. It's funny that we have another named Dynamite right after a named 2 weeks of Dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
So, we went through the whole Fighter Fest, and then now we're getting Fight for the Fallen, which I think they do that all the time. They always have Fight for the Fallen right afterwards, too. So, but, a lot of named Dynamites coming around.
Yeah. Well, they always go through this run in the summer months.
Yeah.
They always have the Fighter Fest and then Fight for the Fallen, and then usually they have Road Rager afterwards. So they might be getting something else. Keep in mind, in August they have Quake on the Lake.
Oh, jeez.
I like the theme shows though, because
Battle at the beach in Cleveland again.
Yeah, well, it's Beach Break.
Yeah, Beach Break. That's
yeah. Juan saying, random thought. As much as Rome hates to hear it, I think the Fiend returns after the main event of SummerSlam once Roman wins. So I could see it. I really can. I mean, this is why I haven't been getting my hopes up. I mean, I feel like I've been the proverbial buzzkill here on the podcast when it comes to the Bray Wyatt Wyndham discussions.
Yeah.
And that's just because I do think that Cody Rhodes has done something that, in a business sense, is probably very good.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, I fucking hate him for this. Because he's made it clear that it is possible to go there, even though the odds are very unlikely that everyone's going to be treated correctly.
Yeah.
They, at the end of the day, they signed Cody and they gave Cody everything he wanted because he was the one of the top AEW guys.
Yeah. But at the same time, they didn't let him do whatever he wanted in the matches. He was still having WWE style matches, and but I do see what you're saying. He's definitely shown everybody else that you can come back or you can go over here.
Yeah, and again, I understand it's just a business, and it's great for the talent to have options. However, for me, like, as someone who just can't support that company, it's not a great thing for me. So, I do see Bray Wyatt returning to WWE. Like, it's not going to be a shock. It's not going to be a surprise. I have, to this day, kept my expectations very in check to avoid heartbreak. Now, if I was sitting here every week and I was building myself up more and more, and like, yeah, he's coming, then that would probably lead to a pretty big downfall for me. That being said, if Bray Wyatt joins WWE, I fucking hate the Dark Order. That's gonna be my new official stance on the Dark Order. It's like, all right, well, end the Dark Order. Like, just get rid of the Dark Order, because they're not doing anything, and there's nothing coming down the pipeline for them.
I mean, my only thing for the Dark Order, if Wyatt goes to the E, is Christopher Daniels in his purple gear looked incredible. And I could deal with him being a leader of the Dark Order. No,
that wouldn't work.
But they would need to be relegated down to Dark and Elevation permanently.
Well, they already are.
No,
that's not the point.
They just wrestled with Hangman in almost the main event. They're not on Dark.
All right, well, still. Yeah, Coach, isn't that crazy that Bryan Danielson, out of everyone in the Blackpool Combat Club, it's Bryan Danielson that does not have gold?
What if he gets a little jealous of Moxley?
Stop it. I mean, fucking. Could you imagine if CM Punk's return match is Bryan Danielson versus CM Punk that would be the most fucking incredible thing. That would be the Tony Khan tucking me into bed, putting the blanket over me, give me a little kiss on the forehead, saying, "Hey, sleep tight, Tiger." Like that's all I need. That's what I need. I will spend any amount of money to see an AEW pay-per-view headlined for the World Championship with CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. That's it. That's the end. That's the end for me. That's the end goal.
Dude,
after that, I could never watch wrestling ever again.
Even Fed fans who are like diehards would have to see that and be like, I have to watch that.
You have to watch that. You have to watch that. Stop it. It is such a great matchup that even WWE couldn't resist main eventing a pay-per-view with that.
Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines, Juan, as a three-way dance there, but I don't know if you would do that with those three now. I think that could be something in, a year from now when everybody's all healed up and peaking.
Yeah, man. There's definitely a lot of opportunity there to do some cool shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Last match for Dynamite that we have announced right now, FTW Championship match. Ricky Starks defending against Danhausen.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be a really good show.
I have a feeling we're gonna have FTW champion Danhausen.
That would be wild. I don't think so. I don't think so though.
Yeah, think about it. Hook is Taz's son. Hook is best friends with Danhausen right now. Basically a tag team. And Taz is like the face of the FTW championship. I see it happening, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, yeah, no, I'm not saying it would never happen, but you know,
Taz berating his son. How could you do this? How could you give the belt to him? Like,
and Hook's just like, he gave me chips.
Yeah, he gave me a bag of chips.
It's my friend. It's my guy.
Yeah.
So that's Dynamite. Rampage. We have the teacher versus the student. Matt Sydal versus Lee Moriarty. We also have Ethan Page facing Leon Ruff. That's all we have for Rampage right now. Now Anthony Bowens tweeted out a little while ago that they have a surprise for the Ass Boys this week. So I don't know where that's going to happen, but on one of the shows we're going to see something from the Acclaimed.
Huh. I wonder what it is.
Watch it be Road Dogg.
Dude.
Watch it be Road Dogg.
Right.
This old card, he can't get a job anywhere. Here's the thing, right? As a fan, I have enjoyed Road Dogg Jesse James's work extensively.
Yes.
And will I be happy if he comes out with the, and this is just complete fantasy booking. It just makes sense to me because he doesn't have a job right now. Billy's on the other side.
Yep.
I could totally see them bringing Road Dogg in for a one-off or something like that, right? Even just a promo, not even a wrestling match, just a promo, one appearance. But I could see it.
Yeah.
And like, he's an old carny piece of shit who kind of been unnecessarily carny like because he can't get a job. But I would mark out if it's Road Dogg. It would be really cool. It'd be really cool.
I do got to point out that he was being a douche on Twitter, and everybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody loved to point out. They're like, "Oh, you didn't get a job with Tony, so now you're talking shit." Okay,
yeah, I understand. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it'd be hilarious if Tony Khan called him like, "Hey, why don't you come in for
it?" Would be good.
Feed you some scraps.
Let's see here. Should Taz be directly involved in a big storyline with Hook? Not yet.
Not yet.
I think
some point
he should just stay on commentary and be like, "That's my boy," you know.
Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna see Taz wrestle ever again though. So.
No, he can't. He's already made that clear.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, that's this week coming up. Fight for the Fallen. It's gonna be a really good show.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. The 12-year-old me would pop too. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. If I heard that, I would.
Yeah.
I'd freak.
Yeah. Right.
But I say it's time we start to close this out. I got a long drive home, and it's 12:30.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, thank you to everyone. Oh, one in the chat real quick. Let's do one more. He said, by the way, I know you guys hate WWE, but Rey Mysterio 20th anniversary coming up on Monday. One of my favorites growing up. Yeah, I mean, I liked Rey too.
Booyaka, booyaka.
Yeah, when he resigned with them, I was kind of like, yeah, you kind of sickened me. You want your son to be successful, yet you having him brought up in the wrestling ecosystem in WWE. I sure hope they never let him go because he is going to have a really hard time adapting to actual pro wrestling.
Yeah.
He's not very good either. I've seen a few of his things like in snippets and clips. Not really feeling it. Not really feeling it. But yeah, I used to like Rey Mysterio a lot. I used to be a big Rey guy. I got very emotional when he won the world title at WrestleMania 22.
Are they at MSG? Oh wow.
I think they are.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I believe they are. It's the go home show. It's the go home Raw for SummerSlam.
Coach Nick's a Dago boy. I don't know if that's still cool to say. It was back in the day. I'm from Vegas. I don't know if that's like.
Yeah, that's his area code, 619, isn't it?
Yeah, 619.
Is that the San Diego area code?
Yeah.
Okay.
Booyaka, booyaka, 619.
He knows him personally. He went to high school with Dominic. Oh wow, look at that.
Shit.
All right, so let me ask you this, Coach. Since you went to school with him, did all the kids ever give Dominic shit for that custody ladder match thing? Like that had to be a thing, right? Like, because I always assumed that really sucked for him. Like as a kid, like I guarantee, like I always was like telling my friends, like I guarantee that kid deals with a bunch of shit in school and in high school. Like all the kids, like, oh, who's your real dad? Yeah. He said, yes, sir, Dago boy.
I used to like legit believe that Eddie was his actual dad.
No, but yeah, Coach, if you can shed some light on that, I would love to put this mystery to bed. Horizon High School. Yeah, let's give Coach a few seconds to answer. We'll see what he says.
Horizon High School, baby.
But in the meantime, we want to thank everyone for checking us out. Please leave a like if you're here. If you're checking us out, it's your first time checking us out. Really appreciate it. Please subscribe and come back. We would love to have you guys back here. We like to have a lot of fun here on the podcast, as you could probably tell. We have the Broken Predictions Championship that we, have fun with. I'm currently the reigning defending Broken Predictions Champion. And that's probably going to stay that way for a very long time. Coach saying, not really, to be honest, because a lot of guys watch wrestling, as crazy as that sounds. Oh, not a lot of guys watch wrestling. It was a private Christian school, so kids didn't watch a ton. Okay.
Makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. Well, I was just curious. It would, I could just imagine it, though. So who's your real puppy? You know, something like that. Just, But anyways, this has been episode 58 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe or a follow, depending on where you find us. Once again, thank you to everyone checking us out live, and also thank you to those that are checking us out post-live. Thank you to everyone on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can find us on Twitter at Broken Table Show, or on Facebook and Instagram at The Broken Tables Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter down below, right there, like X Gamer for Life. Jeff generally tweets from the Broken Table Show Twitter. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and pay-per-view. Jeff, Death Before Dishonor is behind us, and now All Out is next.
Let's fucking go.
I will have to decide if anyone is worthy of me defending my title. Maybe I'll defend the title against Big T. You never know. Maybe that's who I choose. I'm the champion, and I won tonight, so,
yeah, absolutely.
You've kind of lost the right to your title match. It's in All Out, so, it is what it is. That being said, thank you to everyone. We hope to see you guys again on Wednesday. Congrats again to Coach Nick for winning the Fan of the Week award.
Yes.
Everybody, have a fantastic rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Top guys out.